Okay, let me take a look here. I'm going to go to... This is a story. This is another short one called Slight. When I do sit-ups, JD put all her weight on my feet and leaned over my knees, insisted I keep trying. She had these gray eyes I wish she could have seen somehow without having to rely on reflection or a picture. They saw things maybe you didn't want her to see. This was physical education on the island of thick grass inside the track. We all had red and white gym clothes, red shorts. I'd grunt and lift, my elbows like horns jutting from behind my head, again and again. When I got tired, my knees spread apart, and I'd lift myself mostly with arms and neck. JD never held my legs together too tightly. She'd keep her hands on my kneecaps and stretch her body forward, getting serious. You can do this. A few more. Come on. Come on. I'd keep straining, rocking, motion like sex, or, more honestly, like labor, she, the midwife, demanding something born from me. I believe in ghosts and am frightened by them, though I'd never admit it aloud. We can rationalize. That shadow in the courtyard is a father. That high window has a neighbor, just looking out like you. You see, it's gone. There's nothing uncommon about a woman cutting her hair in an empty room, shutters clattering outside, eyes sharp to the glass, searching for a little change. JD and I took walks through the forest after high school. She'd spot a snake every time and point it out to me. I'd go after the dull-colored ones, catching them sometimes by the tails or behind the neck, or I'd miss them completely and stumble. We ducked spider webs and followed familiar trees until the distant traffic mumbled away. Sitting Indian style, finally, in a small clearing, she would lay out cards and tell my future. There was a freckle under her left eye separate from the ones on her cheeks. Her collarbone made a little space between neck and arm when she stretched forward to uncover a card. Her hair fell around her shoulders, nearly purple in the filtered light. I let my mind imagine touching her because I knew I wouldn't act. JD was in a place I didn't understand. My hands were awkward. When she knew my thoughts were on her, knew maybe because my life was as simple as the cards in the dirt, she'd sharply glance up and catch me with a smile. I'd retreat from her eyes, find the isolated freckle, and try to control the color rushing to my face. You are a really caring and sensitive man, with a good talent. One of the most important, the ability to love, my cards said, she said. JD walked into a hardware store somewhere in California the day before Christmas and asked for a length of rope. The attendant behind the counter asked, "Is this rope for hanging?" "Yes," said JD. "You know that." "Sure," the man said. "I'll find something that will do." When JD did her sit-ups, I sat on her feet and reclined against her legs. I watched the rest of us struggling. JD kept mostly quiet as she rocked behind me. The only sound I remember is a soft thud as her slight spine beat down the crabgrass. If something wrong was being born within her, I didn't know. I was on the other side of the country, tucked into a warm bed, comfortable that Christmas was in the morning, packages beneath the tree, fragile ornaments dangling half-noticed somewhere deep in the branches.